If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option, as Sori says. 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
They do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VillageXchange. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy merch indeed. The child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. We are in the midst of the stream of the world.
DJ
Big
Nick,
Nick. Shout out
up
to Rico.
in this bitch. We have Killswitch
Engage.
Engage next. And the name of the song is...
When Darkness Falls.
That's it.
Here's the lyric video. Let's do it. Come on.
Come on! Your tongue! Your eyes! Your lies! They don't deceive you! Your tongue! Your eyes! Your lies! They don't deceive you! I stand firm in my solidarity!
I love that word.
The remnant. Because the remnant. Like 4%. See? He's talking shit.
Yep.
See?
When darkness
Said that's the truth.
our dreams since the fall of man, we are reborn. When darkness
Okay. That boy said, "We're gonna silence you all." He said, "My beliefs are not antiquated." This is what I'm saying. Like, I'm pretty sure that dude's a Christian.
It sounded like it.
Pretty sure that dude's a Christian, and he just said, "We're gonna silence all of y'all." And the Lord will be king over all the earth, and on that day the Lord will be one, and his name one. That's it. That means that's the only name anybody's going to care about that day. It's just him.
That's like that one that says,
everybody else is just going to have to shut the fuck.
every knee will bow and every tongue confess that
Every
Jesus
knee will
Christ
bow.
is Lord.
Every tongue will confess in heaven and on earth and under the earth that Jesus Christ is Lord to the glory of God the Father.
Ooh, look, under the earth. Even them people that are voluntarily in underworld.
Yeah, even Baal, who totally won. Listen, man. If people, like, I don't know how to say this. There's belief, and then there's faith, and I do not think that people understand the difference. Like, the Ray Comfort thing, like,
There is a difference.
you might believe that that parachute can save you. But you don't have faith in that parachute unless you jump out of that fucking plane. Now, if you jump out of that plane, and when you're in midair, you pull on that cord, and that thing opens up, and you're terrified for like 4 seconds, and after that, everything is quiet, except for like, you know, flapping and all that shit. But inside, you're quiet, and you're just watching everything. And then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. And then somebody shows up to you and tells you, you know, there's a lot of people who don't believe in your parachute. It would not affect you.
Right.
Because you've jumped out of the plane so many times. The entire fucking planet can say,
Yep.
you can jump out without this pack. And it wouldn't matter to you because you actually experienced the shit. Mm-hmm. That's what people don't understand about walking with Jesus. Mm-hmm. It is not an idea or concepts, a good principle by which you live your life by. I to be honest with you guys, when I run into situations, I don't think I have ever said, what would Jesus do? I'm always saying, what am I supposed to do here? I'm talking to dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference between, what would Jesus do in this situation? Because I want to follow his example. Versus saying, dude, I know you're here.
What would you do?
And you know me.
Yeah.
And you know, and I know, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I know I'm not supposed to do what I want to do. Mm-hmm. So you tell me what to do. That's not the same thing as believing. Mm-mm. It's just not. And so, but I understand, because unless you're inside of that, and unless you've had that real, you know, I hate the term, like, but supernatural thing, it's like I say, like, once you see it, you cannot unsee it.
Yeah.
Like, it's something that can't be unseen. It's like when you're looking in one of those things in the crowd, and then if you look at it just right for just long enough, you pull it out, and there you see that 3D image. Man, 500 people could be in that room and not see that image. And it took you a while to see it. But then when you saw it, you couldn't unsee it. And it doesn't matter if 500 people in the room can't see it. You see what I'm saying? So, like, this song here lyrically was crazy to me, man, because it's such an open and broad declaration of faith. Like,
Yeah.
and it's a real challenge. You know, it is a real challenge because he says, he starts off the song kind of confrontational here. As you walk the path of least resistance, do you think it's as simple as you claim it to be? Like, that's pretty confrontational.
Yeah.
As you walk the path of least resistance, is it as simple as you claim it to be? And I'm sorry, man, but like,
Oh my God.
walking the way of Christ is not the path of least resistance in American culture. It's not. It'll put you at odds with everybody. Okay? I do this in a very, very clunky way. Most of my purpose in Christianity is to show you guys that God loves bad people unconditionally. That's what I bring to you guys relative to God. I don't really bring a lot of value relative to God to you guys. But what I do bring of value is that unconditional love shit has to be true. Because this guy Vin is truly convinced that Jesus still loves him. I've been watching this motherfucker for 4 or 5 years. So that's my contribution to the group, is to be a living, it's like Paul said, I'm a living example of God's patience because I persecuted God's church and I was ignorant, I was a lawbreaker and I was a violent man. But God saw fit to change me and make me apostle of Gentiles. But if you look at this song, think about which group of people are at odds with everybody. So it's a real big challenge to, okay, let's say you're not walking the walk of Christ. Do you think it's as simple as you claim it to be? You know, like people say things like, we don't need God for morality. All you have to do is just not harm your neighbor. You think that that's simple? It's not. You don't want to know? Who determines what harm is?
Yep.
I was just about to get into a literal moderated debate with one of my atheist friends about morality, and I fucked up. Why? Because he said, this is so simple, Vin. All you have to do is not harm people. And I said, okay, in the debate, I'm going to ask you who determines what harm is. And then he never got back to me. Shit. Because he knows there's no way to do it.
Yeah.
Who determines that? The drug dealer or the DEA agent?
Exactly.
The CPS worker or the child molester? Who determines what harm is? Mm-hmm. The guy who wants to kill. I mean, they're killing people. They're killing folks right now in Europe. If you're depressed and shit, they just did this. It was like a year ago on Twitter, where this person was like poor or something like that, and they had severe mental issues like major depression, and they had just lost their house. The hospital offered suicide as one of the options to this guy. Serious? And the guy is already, so his brother's on the internet advocating for him, like, look, he's not in the right mental condition. And you should have seen the responses. Who are you? You don't know what your brother's going through, blah, 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 blah. And the guy's like, you don't understand. The government offered to off him because he was going to be a burden to the state.
God, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like,
hello? Like, and people didn't get it. They didn't get it. So it's like, look, man, have your secularism, bro. Take it. Take it. But y'all out here stacking bodies like a motherfucker. Nobody's safe with these people.
And the thing is, the guy is depressed and he loses his house. Like, is it outlandish that he would be worse off because he lost his house? Like, why can't we understand like the humanity of people? Yeah, I was just watching this thing where this guy was talking to the reporter because there was a lot of homeless in his city, and he was playing this music that he was hoping was going to annoy the people away. Yeah. And he was like, listen, he's like, it smells like shit. They're shitting everywhere. Like, look at all this. Like, but it's like, okay, so you're upset and offended by that, but why are we allowing human beings to sit in this situation where it's that bad? Like, there's no other solution?
Jesus. Here in Australia, there are people looking at euthanasia for homeless people here. Jeez. This is what I'm saying. When you open these... when you open these gateways, this is what's going to happen. There's a Middle America episode we did 3 years ago on assisted suicide. Go look at it.
Jeez.
We were breaking down a little report. There weren't a lot of examples, but it was basically they opened it up somewhere in Norway, and it was just basically elderly people who live by themselves who took advantage of this suicide thing. It's like, is that the message? But the point is, this shit is not as simple as you claim it to be. You can say, we're going to throw out all this shit that we've been using for thousands of years to orient and build up society. We're going to throw it all away, and we're going to start at zero. And all of these things are just cultural kind of ideas. None of these things are objective and real. They're just what we conventionally agreed upon. So if we like erase the board and like had a new convention and agreed upon different realities, everything will be fine. How's that working out? Oh, these binary choices between male and female. We'll just go and we'll just delete it and we'll create our own category. Okay, cool. And now you got literally 400 or 500 kinds of genders. And now I'm watching the people who said, let's wipe the slate clean and create new ones, tell the other people, hey, you can't do that right now because you're fucking up our movement. So it's like
unbelievable.
Culture building is extremely difficult. And whether you think Islam or Hinduism or Christianity are just man-made inventions, yada, 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 there's a reason that India has a sort of telos and that India is still around. There's a reason. There's a reason for that. So I'm just saying, like, the song is super confrontational because he says, we are the hope. He says, your tongue, your eyes, your lies, they deceive you. Your tongue, your eyes, your lies, they deceive you. I stand firm in my solidarity. To the path I walk it with my own resolve. I'm not following y'all.
Right.
Like, it's crazy. I remember one time I was playing basketball out there with my Somali friends and shit. And we were going back and forth. And then somebody hit a game winner. Wasn't me. I hit one game winner, I remember to this day. I was in my work pants and I hit a 3, and they always lift me open at 3 because that was the wise thing to do. And a shout out to Lee Ben, rest in peace. But I was like, yo, Lee Ben! Ben passed me the ball. Lined up perfectly on the elbow. But like, what were we talking about? I was just thinking about Lee Ben.
Solidarity and
your
own resolve, standing by your own resolve.
Yeah, but like. So I'm there, and everyone's like, yeah, Vinny boy, yeah. They all jumped on me and shit. And then I had this real distinct like everything stopped, and I got pulled out of the crowd, and I was watching everybody, and I'm like, there was some like I couldn't like connect, and the Lord just said to me, you're not them. You're not them. Because there's a real difference between somebody who's indwelt with the Spirit of Christ. And even though they're I love them and all the rest of it, they're not with him yet. So I couldn't completely, because what was happening was also spiritual. There was a spiritual sort of koinonia that was happening in that moment. And that's what I was sensing and I was on the outside of. And it happens even in this community. And it's like, damn, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you're not them. There's a real difference. There really is. And so, like, you can be friends at the physical level with a person, obviously. You can be friends at the soulish, emotional level, but you cannot be spiritually unified with a person that's spiritually unified to Christ. And so there's always going to be that gap. And a lot of Christians, especially being in that place where you're running around a lot of new Christians, a lot of, like, 19, 20, 25-year-olds who are still like in the circumference of their parents. And so now there's like this like part of them that isn't interfacing anymore with their parents. And it's very, very difficult. And so like they didn't understand what was happening to them. They didn't understand like, why are they coming after me like this or what's going on? It's like, yeah, you have a spiritual dimension now that they're not a part of. They're sensing it. And Jesus said that. He says, you think I came here to bring priest? I didn't come here to bring priest. I came here to bring a sword Mother
Peace.
against father.
He didn't come to bring peace.
Daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. Blah, 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 blah. Like, it's there.
Yeah.
And Jesus said that's going to happen. And I came to do that.
Yep.
And that's pretty dangerous when you think about the first speaking of the Messiah, which is, I will put enmity between you and the woman, between your offspring and her offspring.
Oh, shit.
So then Jesus shows up and says, I'm here to kindle a fire on the earth.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That has massive implications, and I'm going to let people fill in the blanks on that one.
Wow. That's so interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, like, I love this, man. I stand firm in my solidarity. The path I walk with my own resolve. And, you know, it's crazy because he says, my beliefs are not antiquated. We're the hope. Silence them all with not just words. Let resolution be our voice. That sounds so, I stand firm in my solidarity. It sounds so nice, man, but this is confrontational shit. Mm-hmm. We're not antiquated. Our beliefs are not antiquated. We're the only hope left. And I believe that for a fact. And the we is only there because of the he. We are the only hope of humanity because he is the only hope of humanity.
Yeah.
Period. End of story. Yeah. Full stop. And in that day, he'll be king over all the earth, and his name will be one. Nobody's gonna say a fucking word in contradiction. I promise you. Mm-hmm. This kingdom is invincible and it is inevitable, and that's why I keep telling y'all to join the team. I'm not telling you to join the team because we need recruits. I'm telling you to join the team because I'd miss you. Mm-hmm. I'd miss you. Mm-hmm. But believe you me, all this shit that's going around, all the shit that we're pulling as a human race, fucking people up, setting them on fire, hating people for who they are,
killing children.
There's a lot of German people, man, that lived and died a regular life cycle and let that shit happen to their neighbors, and you said nothing and you did nothing. You don't think there's coming a day when you're going to have to answer for that shit, where you're going to have to look that Jewish neighbor in the face, explain why the fuck you stayed silent, or why you went into their house after the Schutzstaffel went in there and took away your fucking neighbor? This shit is real. It's real. We're truly going to answer to somebody for all of our shit, guys. I'm telling you. And that's why, like, I'm willing to walk alone. I'm willing to lose subs. I'm willing to make enemies out of friends. I'm willing to all that shit. And let me just qualify that by saying, just because I have a conflict with somebody in a religious conflict does not mean I'm right. Like, it could very well be you were just a dick. And in my situation, that's mostly true. But my dickness has nothing to do with whether or not the truth is the truth. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, look, man. We used to shout out to Emily. I'm not gonna say her last name. Not MJ in the room, but there was another Emily that me and this other guy, we're doing some important work, I would say. And I had just got my first assignment there, and you would not believe the people that I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, all of this, and this is the person that's got all my, I'm supposed to. and the dude that recruited me pulled me aside. He goes, yeah, like, she's got terrible bedside manner. I'm like, bedside manner? This woman just told me, like, first thing she said to me was, hey, the life insurance, where's your life insurance? Because she's doing all my paperwork, and next is like, who do you have? I'm like, literally, it's the first thing this person said to me, like, not hello, not nothing, life insurance. You're gonna die. Like,
oh my god.
He's like, yeah, she's got terrible bedside manner. I'm like,
you think? It's more than that.
Anyway.
Did she come around?
Huh?
Or was she always like that?
She was always like that. But she was.
You usually can break people out of that box.
No way. She was. No way. She was the absolute best at what she was, like a Helena level. Like, see what I'm saying? She was absolutely the best at what she did, and so, like, there's nothing you could do about it.
You're like, okay.
And then you didn't report to her, but you're not going outside without her shit. You see what I'm saying?
I see. Yeah, yeah.
So, like, there's nothing you can do about it. Just nothing you can do. Shout out to Emily, but she was the worst, man. And we actually lost people, and she was the same way. It's horrible. Hey, who went to who went to tell his wife that he died? Like, what? Yeah. Is that covered? And then somebody be like, well,
maybe that's just how she managed.
And she's like, okay, no, that's how she was. I don't really know how this works with the song, but anyway, shout out to Emily. You did Grateful Nation, all that stuff. I really like the song a lot. I like how explicit he was about his beliefs.
Yeah.
I like the way that he challenged. And this is the thing, like, people, like, I've learned this, like, secularists need to be challenged, man, to justify their views.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they've, like, been on the offensive.
Yep.
Prove your blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, let me just surrender that point and ask you how you're going to culture build.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know what... Look, these people can't even define for us what a man and a woman is, guys. Aside, I'm try to extract the emotion and the political ramifications.
Right.
I'm just saying,
Just listen to
as
them.
a thought process.
Yep.
If you're talking about culture building, if we're talking about let's wipe the slate completely clean and start again from zero and come up with new conventions, okay, cool. But do you think it's efficient? The way that these folks are doing it, do you think it's efficient? And if it's not efficient, then maybe there was some wisdom in the old way. But if there is some wisdom in the old way that modern people cannot replicate, maybe that means something even a little bit more transcendent. I don't know. The song is a 9.9 for me.
I'm going with a 9.9 as well. I wish you would have let me rate first.
Oh my God.
You could have copied me.
Perkinos.
What?
Read that shit.
Atheism cannot build a civilization. Return to Christianity. Christ must be honored as King of all nations.
I swear to God. If Perkinos is in the room, I kiss him. I kiss him. Fucking Perkinos. All right, guys. It's the greatest thing in the world. It's the greatest thing in the world. Christianity is the greatest thing in the world. Seriously. I just got to screenshot that. I love that shit. That somebody would say that shit in 2024. I get emotional. I love that shit. I love when Christians are not like on that
timid. Yeah.
I follow.
Yeah, these are the facts. This is what it is.
Little weak sauce lambs that don't believe in shit. Now, we got Perkinos over here. He needs to be honored. Look, you see what Perkinos said? He said, return to Christianity. Christ must be honored as King of all nations. Man, forget it, bro. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care who says what, who subs, who doesn't subs. Fucking Perkinos. Let's go. Okay. Screen break. We shall be right back.
We're coming back.
That boy's a man.